Hey, good evening, targeted individual saints. You called out once, God's elect. I wanted to put out a few dreams I had over the last month and a half, 2 months. Um, the reason why I didn't post them before is because I hadn't been able to get online in that long. Well, maybe I guess it's been about 2 months. Okay, so uh, the first dream I had was significant to me because it was the last night I lived where I was living with my ex-boyfriend. And the reason why I'm telling you this is I think part of it pertained to, God's warning about him. Okay. I dreamt that I died. I actually died in my dreams. I've had dreams where I've had, car wreck or something, but I always wake up. This one, I did not. And I was in a pickup truck. And I know that vehicles, ships, trains, that all means transportation. That pertains to our body. That's like spiritual. It's a lot of different things, but for the most part, pickup truck symbolizes your ministry and you're bringing others. You're helping others. That's why there's a bed in the back of the truck, behind the truck. So I think that's why I was in a pickup truck. I'm not sure what color it was for sure, but I think it may have been red. I need to look up what that meaning is. But anyway, I woke up, or not woke up. We were in a wreck. It was me and somebody else. I don't know who. I didn't see their face. And all I knew was, this is it. And the next thing, I'm outside of the pickup truck looking at my body, which was gone, dead, but it was laying there. I am totally peaceful. I'm so happy and filled with joy. And then I look down and I see that I'm made out of light. And it was like a shape of my body, kind of, but not as defined. And it was just a bright light. And I was just so happy. And then I look over and I see my ex-boyfriend standing there. And this is the part that's like telltale that it was a sign, it was a warning for me, is because he didn't rush over. He didn't start going, oh my gosh, or anything. The feeling that I got, it was like I picked up on what he was thinking, was that he just wanted to make sure I was gone. He didn't really have any feelings at all. To me, it was almost like God was showing me he was a robot. He did not have any feelings. And interestingly enough, when I first met him, he said when he was a kid, he felt like a robot. He used to want to open up his chest. This is a very weird thing to say. And look inside to see if there was numbers moving on it, because he didn't feel like he was real. He didn't feel human. Isn't that freaky? So now I'm starting to think that the Lord was, not starting to think, I know the Lord was showing me the people that are harming us like that and inflicting pain, a lot of them are not human. They don't have human traits. They don't feel like we do. So we're thinking, how can somebody do this? Well, that's how. A lot of them have given their souls over to Satan, and their God's spirit is not in them anymore. So the next part of the dream was, so I'm standing there and I see myself as, a light body. And then I look over and I see him, and I wasn't like worried is not the word. I wanted him to know that it doesn't hurt, that we don't die, and that you'll have so much joy and peace. So I was trying to get his attention, but he could not see me. Then I looked down and I see my little dog. And I knew that, because of course animals are very intuitive, I knew she would probably be able to see me. So I started waving for her, and sure enough, she saw me, and she ran over to me, and as soon as she was leaping in my arms, I woke up. Okay, that was the first one. That was on January 15th morning. And then the second one I had, which I just had, again, it was a significant timing, was, if y'all followed any of my sad, pathetic videos from yesterday, I was really upset about my betrayal. But like I said, God sends us Judases because we have to know what Jesus went through to be considered worthy. So it just makes us stronger. But the second one I would say was within the last 3 weeks. And it was the last day before I started back to drinking, because I'd been sober about 6 months, I guess. And I get sober for about 6 months to a year, and then I have a slip up where it lasts anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, sometimes a month. And then I get back on track again. That's part of my thorn in my side. But anyway, the next one, like I said, was within the last 3 weeks, and it was when I was getting really plummeted really bad by the enemy. Started the next day after I had this dream. It was like the next day is when the attack was full on. So I'm going to say this was probably about maybe January 25th or something like that. Somewhere around there. It was right before my attacks got really, really bad. And I dreamt that I was in a giant cruise ship, but I was in a basement area that it did not look like, oh, this is a nice vacation. It was dreary and gray, and the walls were really, really cold. And it was underneath like the cruise ship. And the reason why I know is because if you looked out the window, there was a huge glass window that went all the way around it. You could see water. Like we were submerged underwater, but the top of the ship was above water. It was like that. So the water wasn't actually getting in, but you could see it. Anyway, I'm in there and I'm with a few people, and a hammerhead shark, specifically hammerhead shark, started bashing its head, banging and banging its head into the front glass. And I was like, that shark's going to get in. The shark's going to get in. I can't remember exactly what all I said, but I remember I'm pretty sure I started praying. I just don't remember what I said. And it went away. But then the next thing I know, I'm being distracted, and I look to my right, and it had got in the side window. There was a crack in the window. This is so symbolic to me, y'all, because I looked up what a hammerhead shark means, and it means an enemy that is pursuing you. And then the fact that it's hammerhead, maybe it means like it's hammering it in. I don't know. I don't know why it's specifically a hammerhead, but it definitely means someone close to you, an enemy that's close to you, is trying to get in. You're in danger. The fact that it got in the side door or the side window is like right in my face. I knew immediately what that meant. There was a crack in my armor, and the enemy who was within my circle, meaning my ex-boyfriend, the enemy worked through him. He's not the enemy, it's the demons that are in him. And the fact that he's not on God's team. But anyway, he got in the side because I was being distracted, and I had a crack in my armor. And that totally made sense, because the next day is when I started getting really heavily hit, and I finally gave in, like, I don't know, it was within that week, and started drinking again. And then my attacks got even worse, because I didn't have as much of, God's power on me, I guess. Because when you drink, it drains you. And that's what they want. So anyway, but then the final part was, after the hammerhead shark got in, it was like floating, but it was swimming. But I don't remember there being water inside. But it was like coming in. And then I was instantly went like that, and I was transported into another part of the ship that wasn't as gloomy. I just can't remember the colors that were in it. All I remember is that it was up on deck. We were on deck. And to me, that, again, I knew immediately what that meant. The Lord speaks to us through things that are important to us. And I played softball. So you're up to deck. You're on deck. You're up to bat, you get on deck. You're on deck. That means you're up next. Isn't that cool? So we were up by the deck, and there's people, about 20 to 30 people, standing in a line, but they weren't actual bodies like what we see. It was just the same exact thing that I was in the other dream. It was just light. They were defined a little bit, but not like how humans are defined. But you could tell it was like an outline of a human, all just light. I didn't see any faces or anything. And each one of them was getting what looked to me like a wetsuit. I also surfed, so that was significant to me. And I live by the water. I love the water. So, but the wetsuit part didn't really hit me till Sarah Fourth Calling's video was talking about it. And I'm like, okay, that's really weird. Because then, after she talked about that, I kind of brushed it off, and then I was like, well, maybe it was just because I like the water or something. No, God's trying to let us know, y'all saints, something's up. Because then after that dream, I had 4 signs just now. This just happened. Okay, so I left the house. I don't know how long I was gone. It doesn't matter. It's a few hours. And when I'm coming back, I was talking to the Lord like I always do. And, I was just talking to him. We're supposed to talk to him like our friend. He's our friend. He's our father. He's everything. He's our lover, our father, our friend. And I was talking to him, and I'm like, what is it, Lord? What are you trying to show me because of the vision from last night with the giant black wing in the sky? And then I saw the shooting star, falling star. And he immediately drew my eyes to a sign. And the sign said, signs everywhere, signs. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to remember exactly what it said. I wrote it down. It was, emergency pump. That was it. Emergency pump. Okay? And that was like on the side of this little area that I was walking by. Then right after that, I literally took about 4 or 5 more steps. I'm thinking emergency. And I looked down, and there was like a construction marker. There's like some cones, and then there's like a thing dangling with a net, and there's a bucket hanging from this net. And I kid you not, the bucket said, "Let's do it." I love it. I started laughing and laughing because I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. I thought I lost my sense of humor over these last few weeks. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. And right as I'm saying that, I had maybe taken another literally 5 steps. Guess what I see? Hanging off the side of a boat. Wetsuit. A wetsuit is just hanging there. Never seen it hanging there before. I'm like, okay, this is getting really weird. Then I go about another 4 or 5 steps. Each one was about 4 or 5 steps. And I glance over to the other side, and there my eyes went right to fire alarm. So he is definitely trying to tell us, get ready. We're fixing to be out of here. Emergency pump, let's do it. Wetsuit, fire alarm. All right, y'all. If anybody else is having any of this kind of stuff, please let me know. I pray for all the lost people. I pray for all my stalkers, gang stalkers, which are actually just being used by the enemy. A lot of them are not completely lost. That's what we're coming here for, y'all. We're coming to pull them out of the darkness and into the light. Amen. And I pray for all the saints. I pray for all the TIs. I pray for you TIs that don't know what your calling is yet. He's about to reveal it to you. I'm putting these out there because there's many ways that the Lord speaks to us. And he does all these different things that are specially for us. We each have something special. And together we make his family. It's just amazing. It just brings tears to my eyes because how he works. It's like, how can you fathom it? But anyway, I wanted y'all to just keep an eye out because he's sending y'all that eyes may not have been opened yet. He's trying to reach y'all. He wants y'all to pick up on these signs, and that's one way he does it. Okay. God bless y'all, and ta-ta.